Hello and welcome to This Board Game Life. I'm your host, Mark, and today I'm unboxing Dice Throne Outcasts from Dice Throne Inc. I'll give you a little tour of the box. So, Dice Throne is a combat game, whether 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 2v2v2, or a free for all. Select from a variety of heroes that play and feel completely distinct from one another. Attack opponents and activate abilities by rolling your hero's unique set of 5 dice. Accumulate combat points and spend them on cards that have a large range of effects, such as granting permanent hero upgrades, applying status effects, and manipulating dice directly, whether yours, your teammates, or even your opponents. Outcast is the newest edition of the Dice Throne universe, including introducing 4 new heroes: Pale Lady, Headless Horseman, Raveness, and the Necromancer. Schemes designed by Nate Chatelier and Manny Tremblay, with the art by Britt Anderson, Nick Malera, and Manny Tremblay. Again, published by Dice Throne Inc. in 2025 for ages 14 and up. Does play 2 to 6 players, but again, if you want more than 4, you will need to have additional Dice Throne content, as this content only contains 4 characters. And it does play about 30 minutes. Now, before we go to the table, I do ask that you would please be so kind, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you are not missing any new content. All right, so we're going to take it to the table, and we're going to unbox this. So I do have the game, and I've got a bunch of additional content here because I kind of went all in, and we'll take a look at all of it. All right, so we can roll in on this. So show you just this box. So this is a little different from previous versions. They only did 4 characters this game. I do have a limited edition, champion edition, they labeled it. I'm not sure what makes it a champion edition, but maybe just because I've got all 4 characters in the box. That might be why. We do have some promo cards that I will show you. I did get acrylic token upgrades, and of course the premium sleeves. I did get some hero sculpts, so if you have Dice Throne Adventures or Dice Throne Missions, the like campaign style stuff, you can use the minis here. And I did pick up this is an expansion for Dice Throne Adventures called Unchained, which introduces a new boss, some new minions, new loot cards, and new game modes to the Dice Throne Adventure. So there's a lot to unpack here. So we're going to start with the main stuff here. Let's take a look at the new characters in this box, see what's here. I think they call this the strong box. I believe that's what it was labeled as. So we're like the other kind of releases where they did 8 characters, they had their battle chests. So this one, they only did 4 characters. So you don't need a battle chest, but we do need the strong box, which I think is going to be magnetic here. Yep. Is it fully? It is fully magnetic. So we have like comic here in the inside. 1, 2, he comes for you. Let's see. Oh, I love when the sun would drop. Clip clop, my horse doth trot. 3, 4, shut the door. The mistral's in and the window shuts. My horse's hooves fill the shallow ruts. 5, 6, little ones to fix. Rustling rains echo here and there. 7, 8, never stay up late. 9, 10, he's back again. All in town except a good scare. Go away. I relish in fear and peddle in dread. Where is he? For a good night might leave one dead. To scare a girl, man, woman, or boy fills my heart and head with such joy. Yeah! Okay, so I guess that's a little Headless Horseman story on my cover. Wonder if they're different. I wasn't expecting like a little thing there. All right, so probably can toss that, but you can see we're used to the if you're used to dice throwing, you know what these 4 trays are. So these are the characters and all their goodies go in each one. So let's just take a look at the one first. We will I will zoom in a bit more. All right, we'll go there, then I can lay out some of the content here. So we've got the character card, and there's a werewolf. So she's like a dual character. So we do have the pale lady on this side. Follow me under the pale moonlight. So again, if you're not familiar with dice throwing, this is like your player board. You're going to roll dice. Everyone gets 5 dice, and then you're going to think of like Yahtzee. You can roll your dice up to 3 different times, and you can try to get small straights, large straights. You can try to get these certain symbols. So every dice face has a number and a symbol on it. And if you're getting, 3 of these little what look like scratches, you'll do 4 damage. The more you can get, the more damage you'll do. Then you've got little effects that you can also inflict. There's a this is usually your defense. Here it says it's a refresh, so your defense roll of 4. So you can heal 1 and plus whatever this moon does. Now the other side must be when you become the beast. So there's probably something in this character that will have you flip over to the other side. So shred or scratch. I don't know, because of the cards. Your cards would go away. I don't know. I'll have to read up about this one, but that's a dual-sided board for her. All right. So here you've got a moon shard. So she's got moon shards, a bleed, and prey tokens. And this sheet tells you what each of those do. And then here's your setup. So you're gonna begin the game with your hero board pale lady side up. So something could flip you over to the other side. But this also shows you down here the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 6s have this full moon icon. The crescent moons are on 4s and 5s, and your slashes on your 1 and 3. So you know the odds of those. So that's the pale lady. You've got your combat points dial. So you'll move this to show how many combat points. That's what you're going to use to buy stuff, to buy new cards and things, or to play cards. Here's your health dial. So it will rotate. They're a little stiff, but okay. And then here's the dice for the pale lady. Okay. And then I mentioned that there's tokens. So the tokens will be cardboard to punch in here. So there is cardboard, but I did purchase the acrylic upgrade, so I'll be able to put all the acrylic tokens for her into the tray, and it'll hold everything. And then we'll take a look at some of the cards. So we've got, if Pale Lady receives an undefendable damage, you gain a moon shard, which again is one of those right there. So here's etiquette. We got Ravage. If you're the werewolf, receive 1 undefendable damage and roll 5 dice. And then you'll add a damage times the amount of scratches that you roll. Then you may re-roll up to 5 of these dice. Oof, attack modifier. Another one, if werewolf, after successfully dealing damage, heal 1 health per moon shard that you have. So you kind of get the idea. I'll just show some of these. I'm not going to go through every single card. But most of these, like these things, are going to probably be these orange ones will probably be very similar to the previous games. You can change values of dice. You can prevent a set amount of damage. These you gain 2 combat points, increase, or what does it say? Increase or decrease any die by the value of 1. So a lot of these are similar to what we've seen before, just with some probably new artwork. This artwork looks different. And then there's the damage type chart. and you have your turn order, how to play. So you're kind of player aid there. All right. So, and then you'll notice that there's like all the cards fit in one tray, but once I sleeve the cards, they will end up using up both trays. So they will fill this up pretty nicely. This slot here, in fact, I'll just go ahead and open up the token bag, and we're just going to put the acrylic tokens for this character in here right now, so she can kind of get a look at them. So I am just going to pour these out on the side. Oh, there's some like what do you call these little things? Standee. I'm not sure what those are for. So we do have. I might have another character that uses bleed, but let's see, 2, 4, 6. So we're just going to put those in there. There was another one of these. So there's the bleed, the prey, and now we need these moon shards. We've got the wolf ones. These are like feathers. Oh, these things. Oh, wow. Ah, it is an actual, like, look at that. It's actually a broken up piece of moon shard. That's pretty cool. And it's just the one, it looks like. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. It actually is broken up. I like that. It looks really nice. All right. So we'll put those in. And again, I'll sleeve these later. But we'll put her character on top. And that is the Pale Lady / werewolf. All right. So next, okay, something's not in here, right? Something's not sitting correctly. There we go. It's all in there. Okay. So next we have the Headless Horseman. Right. I love the artwork that goes into this game. I really do. So now this is not a dual-sided player. You will just play as the Headless Horseman the entire time. And again, same thing. So you got your ultimate. I didn't mention this on the last character, but all characters have what they call an ultimate. In the words of Yahtzee, it's rolling a Yahtzee. So here you got to roll 6 pumpkins, which would be 6 sixes. As you can see, pumpkins only show up on the 6s, so they're called scares. You have the 4s and 5s have horseshoes, and the 1s and 3s have an axe. So this shows that you've got the haunted head, which would be this token. There's dreadful. So we've got some dreadful tokens here. These are part of the character. And we've got Grim Pursuit. Looks like there's 4 of these things. So these will be the acrylic tokens that go in the game. And so you'll always have this card out sitting next to you to explain. Now, this acrylic's going to be a little large, but it won't fit in that little spot, but it'll fit on top of where the cards go. All right, and you can see everybody's artwork is different. So there's your combat points. See, it's like a pumpkin patch. Your health dial for this guy is the horseman himself. Okay. Their dice, as you can tell, are different. Everybody's dice in this game are different. Different colors, different symbols on there. Their decks are all going to be different, because they'll have different. Oh, I forgot to add the let me open up the promo cards because I'd like to put the promo cards in with each character as well and show you. So there's 4 mythic cards in here. So you do get, another thing they have is they do give you these, which are basically like artworks. So one of the things you can do with these is, you know, if you have these promos, this allows you basically to kind of, you could put this deck together. They all have the same symbol from all the various games. You can just put them all together, shuffle them up, and pull one out and play as that character, you know? So if you don't know who to play as, use these, shuffle them up, and pick one. All right, so we should have, yeah, so there's going to be 4 mythic cards, and then there's going to be 4 randomizer cards, which I just mentioned, and then 4 hero promo cards. So here, the Pale Lady, this is hers. It's hard to see because it's like a hollow foil, but her mythic ability is, so you get the active ability, when rolling for prey on a 2 to a 5, the attacker increases their damage by 2 instead of 1. Then the flip ability, you'll gain 2 moon shards to flip this. And then, so it says during setup, place this in your player with the active side up. While this card is on the active side, the active ability remains. If this card is active, you may also perform the flip. After performing the flip ability, flip this card to the side to mark it as inactive. So you would gain 2 moon shards. Flipping this would allow you to gain 2 moon shards, and then you can't use the 2 damage ability the rest of that all the rest of that game. And then let's see, she would have probably this one, Apogee of the Moon. So you're going to gain, let me make sure that's the right one for her. Should be. Yeah, those are the moon symbols. Yeah, the full moon thing, the howl. So here on that howl, you gain 2 moon. Oh yeah, moon shards. So these we will add to her deck, to her box. All right. Okay. So again, these are just kind of a quick glance. They're basically, a lot of these are going to be basically similar, but here you're going to gain 2 dreadful, which would be those. And then they will do, again, you look at this card, and here it's a positive static effect. You can have up to 5. So these tokens affect various abilities, including when you can terrorize an opponent. You'll probably see things on either down on your board or in your cards when you can do things. Move the haunted head to a chosen player. So that's this thing. You're going to put it on someone else's player board, and then it will have effects and stuff. So spend up to 3 combat points, then gain 1 Grim Pursuit per combat point spent. So if you have the haunted head, prevent 3 damage, incoming damage. So lots of different. It's a cool looking card. Throw my head. There's the dancing pumpkin. So then again, you got your cards here that allow you to upgrade on your player board. So lots of different things to do. All right. So then we have, let's see, Get Ahead is one of the promos, and then we have the mythic ability here for the Headless Horseman. When rolling to add damage for Grim Pursuit, you may re-roll up to 2 of these dice. The flip ability, you would gain 4 Dreadful and 2 Grim Pursuits when you basically turn that ability off. So, all right. Oh. So that's the Headless Horseman. Now we've got Raveness. Again, just the one side for the player. And if you're wondering, all of these characters on these boards that show all the abilities, does show the complexity of the different type of characters. So this one is a 3. So if you're newer, might want to find something down on the lower end just to get your feet wet and get started. So, but all of these cards are really good. They have information, clarification on some of the rules. So just some questions you might have when playing the character. But then this side is the one you're going to want to leave up while you're playing. It shows all your different abilities and things. So this one has a companion called Nevermore. So this is going to be likely their health dial. I would assume this is their health dial. I've seen other companions with the health dial. So this is your combat points for this character. And then their health dial doesn't show health on it. So maybe these act as something else. Let's see. These is an absorb ability. Oh, absorb vitality is what this is. So may only be chosen while Nevermore is on an opponent. So for each instance of absorbing, increase Nevermore's dial by 1, then the opponent receives 1 undefendable damage as an isolated source of undefendable damage. So, and then there's Raveness's health board. So take a look at the dice. Again, real nice. Dice Throne has an amazing quality to all their games, I'll tell you that. And I don't know if, I know Roxley used to, I think originally, I think it was a different company that did Dice Throne, then Roxley bought them and improved upon it, made some alterations, and really, I think, kind of made this game what it is. And then I don't know if they sold it because now it shows as Dice Throne Incorporated. It's like its own company, but so here you can change the roll, the value of the Nevermore die roll. So again, these are going to be specific to this character. There's upgrades again for the different places on the board. So we do have those. Now we have, okay, so Fiend or Foul. So there's a promo card there, and then the Raveness's Mythic card. Now hers, we've got this, so we've got a couple of 6s that are going to go in this tray. We've got a bunch of these feathers, and I think that's it. All right. And we got one more to take a look at. Whoops. Okay. And then we'll have sculpts to take a look at and an expansion. So here's the Necromancer. And the artwork is really good. So here we've got the undead. There's 2. Okay, so this summoning the undead. Okay, so I think that's why there's these. It might be why these little stands are here. Because there's I'm going to assume that these are intended. So you've got these guys that can stand. Let's see. So you've got some skeletal warriors. They add 1 damage as an attack modifier. Then we have the skeletal mate. So let me just show you. Okay, the green one is the skeletal warrior. And we have the skeletal mage. Then we've got the bone golem. So the Necromancer is probably going to be a more yeah, they're a difficulty 6 to play this guy. And it's probably because you've got these guys. So you're going to have these guys, plus you are going to have a resurrect ability, decryptify, and then you have a corpse dial, which is here. And then there's there's some unearthed cards in here. These are passive, so during your upkeep, you must move your unearthed card to cover a different offensive ability on your hero board. So you've got a couple of these. And then of course your cards. Dead Man's Party 2, Corpse Explosion, Harvest, Black Shroud, Blight, Reanimate, Shear. We look at their dice. That's a really nice green dice. So, combat point dial and the health dial. So the Necromancer looks pretty cool. There's a lot going on with the Necromancer. And then we've got the promo cards. We got Skeletal Structure and the Mythic ability. So, pretty cool. Again, that guy's not going to fit. Put these over here. These will fit. That won't, so that'll go there. I don't know if I'm going to... I can probably put these standy things in here, but I'd have to see. Do I put these on a character? Or because I just normally just place these things down out in front. But I've not... let's see what they say. Your undead are summoned by spending corpses during your main phase. Which I guess this tells you how many corpses you have. Each summoned undead has an ability that can be activated. Skeletal Warrior is... I guess she could. I guess that keeps them... If you had a whole bunch of them out, you could just place them up and, or just place them out in front, in front. We'll put the dials or the stands in there. All right. Which might... Let's see. We gotta find a good way to do that so that doesn't lift. All right. So that is a look at the characters. Again, there is a rule book in here. That's funny. Normally, it's the first thing you look at. But here, the rest of this is just going to be the cardboard stuff, which I don't need. Let me do one quick, make sure I don't make a goof here. So yeah. So there's also, so in here, these are standees that you can punch out, and you could use, they do have cardboard holders. So yeah, you can see these have them as well. But if you are playing the other missions, like the Dice Throne missions or the Dice Throne Adventure, the game does come with standees, cardboard standees that you can use in those games, because if you don't have the miniatures, you've got the standees for that. So those, you can use those standees. I got those plastic ones. I can use those too for the for what's this, whatever he was, the Necromancer. All right, and then so here's the rule book. They're very colorful. They're not very big. The game is pretty straightforward. It does have a card that you can just follow. It tells you exactly what to do during your turn. So there's like a upkeep phase, an income phase, main phase, defensive roll phase, then your offensive roll, targeting roll phase, defensive roll phase, then your main phase 2, and then discard. So it sounds like there's a lot of phases, but it's just it actually goes quick. It really does. So, and then there's a slot in there to hold that. All right, so let's, for right now, we'll put the lid back on. All right, and then I will show you these. I'm not gonna. I'll just show you each pack. So the premium sleeves, they're pretty nice because of all the artwork, and so you get enough to sleeve everything, including the promos, and usually you have extras left over. So they have really nice artwork on them. So there's no doubt whose cards they are. They're incredible to look at. They really are nice. I love their sleeves. So we'll keep those. All right. Again, if you order the mini sculpts, that's what these are. Again, you do get a cardboard version of these sculpts in the base game. But if you want, you can get these, and these are awesome because, as you can see, they're painted. I don't have to paint. And all the Dice Throne sculpts are like this. So, I mean, they're fantastic looking, really nice. And get a look at his head. Oh. So, again, you can use the cardboard or you can spring for the extra money and purchase these. Now, if you end up buying this game at retail, just go to Dice Throne's website and you can purchase these things there. I'm sure there are. I know they're available, or they will be available. So you can always pick those up. All right. Last thing is, if this here's an expansion to the Dice Throne Adventures. So this adds basically a new boss to that. I don't even know if that box can even hold any more content. There is so much content in the Dice Throne Adventures. And I have not played it in a long time. It's a lot of setup. There is a lot going on in that. So, okay, we've got a little rule book here. So, how to collect witch keys, how to fight the Vault Witch. I'm explaining all of that. There's a one-shot adventure. There's let's see, one-shot adventure. Oh, that's called other game modes. Then there's Minion Rush, so you can different ways to play the adventure games too. So that's the rule book for that. So here's that boss character board. Okay, so I guess I should have been flipping them like this so you can actually see the artwork. That's really nice. So this actually it plays like another character, but usually the boss has a lot more health than what you have. But this is like a cooperative adventure. So you have several of you that would be taking on this boss, and this boss will also have these different abilities. And it looks like we got some vaults. Don't know. Talks about vaults. Here's like these little maps where you will start here and you'll follow through these dungeons and you'll be fighting. Oh, this is actually kind of nice. I like this setup better than. So the original adventure has all these tiles and that you're sorting all these tiles. This is nicer just because it's more of like the missions where you have a map and you're just going to move your characters around and follow, and it tells you boss setup and King's Hand tokens and things like this. Here's how to set your heroes up based on how many players you have. It's double-sided, so you've got the Void, Catacomb. So you're going to fight all these minions and try to get up here, then fight the boss. So we've got the depths. I like this. This is. Do you even need? It said you needed adventures, but looks like everything is in here. I'll have to verify that. We've got the Valley of the Bones. Oh wait, did I don't know if I showed. Okay, so let me check. Start over. Here's the Catacombs map. We have the Void. You've got the Depths. and Twisted Forest. We've had Valley of the Bones and the Dragon's Den. So quite a few different things. Here's your one-shot loot. So as you're doing things, there's things that, and I think this is why you might need the original thing, because all these cards are actually, all the loot cards and stuff are in the adventure deck, I believe, are going to be in adventures. So here I got sleeves for this boss. It came with the sleeves. Okay, there's nothing there. Then we have and I just thought of a question, and you might be asking, can you use this boss character as like playing in a game? Because I know the adventures themselves come with like more powerful there's a I forgot what they call it, like not infected, but like there's a barbarian character, right, that you can play as, and then there's like the cursed barbarian or something. And so I think there's 4 or 5 bosses in the adventures that have boards like this, and they're like, except for the Mad King, I think the other 4 are like corrupted versions of actual characters that you play. So I don't know. I'd have to read. I don't know. I've never done it. I would think that if you're playing as a quote boss character, you might have to play other boss characters, kind of against each other. I don't know if this is going to be completely unbalanced or not. I really don't know. I'll have to read the book, read the rules on this, and see if you can use these as, hey, I just want to play as this against other people. We've got some nice little foil cards here. Oh, these are loot cards. So you've got a Spectral Cloak. So here's a Guardian Spirit, a Corrupted Arcana, Lich's Ascension, Eldritch Pain Ritual. So these are legendary loot items. So I guess all the loot is already in here. There's a Witch Key. So I'm beginning to wonder if you really need. To me, it feels like almost like everything's here because they don't have all the tiles. They made those little boards. Here's all the upgrades. These are all for the playing this. And this should be all the minion cards. So let's take a peek. So there's the Fallen. That's what they were called, like the Fallen Barbarian. And there's the Ashen King and the Bloodseeker, Swamp Dweller, Plague Bearer, Corrupted Ghoul, the Butcher, the Dark Spectre, the Hermit, the Fell Summoner, the Carrion Golem. So these are going to be all like the Iron Maiden. These are going to be the minions that you're going to fight. And then here's the card for the boss battle. So interesting. So let me see. It does say previous experience and additional components required. Does require each player to have a hero from any collection, which that makes sense. A copy of Dice Throne Adventures. And I think the only thing I can see that you would need from Adventures is going to be, where was it? This stuff right here. You're going to need these tokens. These are in a huge tray that comes in the adventure box. So let's see. I'm going to do it this way. All right. I think that's everything for right now. Yeah, this character doesn't have a tray to put. You're going to need your dice. There are dice for the boss. So, like, this one doesn't have a tray. So this stuff will probably get stored in the adventures box as well if there's room. There's a lot in there. So there is a couple things you'll need, but you won't need the tiles, which that makes me happy. You can just play these cards. This is a much more simplified. Maybe they'll come out with like cards for the actual adventures to basically allow you to get rid of all the different tiles. I think that would make it easier to set that game up. All right. Well, I think that's it. Yeah, that was quite a bit. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. Hit that subscribe button, even if you didn't, because maybe you'll enjoy the next video. And then don't forget to hit that like button or that bell icon so that you will be notified every time we're dropping new content. I'm hoping Rob's getting closer and closer to being ready to start recording some his own content. So I know he's trying to get there. So probably it'll be after the holidays, but don't be afraid to ask him. Rob, where's your content? All right, thanks again so much. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Hope you guys have a fantastic week and enjoy your gaming. And we'll see you at the table. Maybe. Uh-oh. Wake the mouse up.